I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Anakin. For all of it. Anakin.
Kenobi opens his mouth here as part of the shock response. Seeing what his friend has become causes him high levels of stress. He opens his mouth as his brain is trying to fill his body with as much oxygen as possible. When we see something out of the ordinary, something shocking, our brain takes that as a potential physical threat and activates the defense mechanism. As a result, our heart rate increases, adrenaline is released, and we begin to take in more oxygen to allow our muscles to function at maximum effectiveness. That's what he's doing here. You can actually hear him start to hyperventilate when he sees Vader. This is just another non-verbal cue that shows that he's shocked. Vader doesn't blink at all here. His eyes are solely focused on Kenobi. A lack of eye movement and a fixation of eye contact on one person or one thing is typically caused by sheer anger and rage. Vader is solely focused on Kenobi by his immense rage, and despite being in immense pain, he still manages to hold eye contact.
Anakin's gone. I am what remains.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Anakin. For all of it.
Vader keeps up the high levels of eye contact with Kenobi, reiterating what I said before. Kenobi actually does a distancing behavior when he changes his proxemics. He steps back away from Vader, again out of shock. A distancing behavior is the brain's way of getting away from something stressful and dangerous. Kenobi walks backward to get away from Vader, as the sight of his friend burned and stuck in this suit is just so shocking to him. Kenobi also holds strong eye contact as his brain is trying to take in as much information as possible about the situation in order to improve his chances of survival. When shocked, our brain desperately tries to understand what's going on around it, which is why we stare. He also tenses his mouth, which is him trying to speak, but he can't think of the words to say. It's super accurate body language, and shows that Kenobi wants to say something to his old friend, but can't muster up the words, likely out of fear, guilt, or shame. When apologizing to Vader, Kenobi tenses his face constantly. This is again due to the buildup of stress. His blood pressure is increased and he's filled with adrenaline, and his brain needs to release that somehow. It does it in the form of muscle tension. It's why when people get super angry, they clench their fists together. It's a natural reaction to the high levels of stress. Vader also does the same thing here. His face constantly tenses up and relaxes as he's going through extreme amounts of emotions. You can actually see here that he's not fully committed to the dark side, as his body language shows that he's contemplating what Kenobi just said. He's going through so many different mixed feelings at this point, which is why you actually see this. If he were just purely angry, he wouldn't react to Kenobi's words, but he's clearly thinking them over.
I am not your failure, Obi-Wan. You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did. The same way I will destroy you.
Kenobi is in the freeze response here. When we encounter a stressor, we go into one of three responses. These are fight, flight, and freeze, with freeze actually being the most common. Kenobi is shocked and experiences stress seeing what his friend has become, and his body freezes, almost unable to move. Now, this survival mechanism has evolved into us for a very good reason. Movement is actually the biggest way of giving away our position, and during evolution, if we moved, predators would spot us and we would die. So we evolved to freeze when experiencing something shocking, until we can assess what it is and react appropriately. Kenobi is still processing everything, which is why he stands still. It wasn't the fighting with Vader that scared him or worried him. It was seeing Anakin again. His face and his voice. That's what shocked Kenobi. Also, his mouth is wide open again. His brain is preparing him for danger by taking in as much oxygen as possible.
Then my friend is truly dead. Goodbye, Darth.
Obi-Wan!
When Kenobi says his final goodbye, he turns away, but we see him diverting his eyes to the floor. We do this when feeling shame and sadness, and it really shows what Kenobi's thinking. No matter what Vader said, he still feels responsible for Anakin's fall to the dark side. And seeing what he did to him in person and up close just causes him to feel these emotions even stronger. Kenobi is a broken man and feels nothing but shame and sadness for his friend. The fact that he can actually turn around presenting his back to Vader shows that he's not afraid at all for his personal safety, which confirms that the stress is because he's seen what Anakin has become. This actually adds insult to injury for Vader as Kenobi walks away back turned, confirming that he doesn't feel any fear or intimidation from Vader. Kenobi is still the master, and I think they added this as in episode 4, Vader remarks about the last time they met, him being the learner and Kenobi being the master. I think this is what he's referring to there. Kenobi defeated Vader here in entirety. This was a super acted scene, and in my opinion, this is the greatest scene in all of Star Wars. Star Wars is about the tragedy of Anakin and his fall to the dark side, and his eventual redemption. This scene shows that tragedy better than any other in the entire franchise, and both Hayden and Ewan acted perfectly. You can see the confusion and questioning in Vader's mind, and you can see the guilt and sadness in Kenobi's. It's such a powerful scene, which is why I thought I had to react to it after not doing film and TV shows for a long time. I don't make this content much anymore, as YouTube doesn't let me earn any ad revenue from it, but I couldn't miss this scene for the world. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.